I don't know if it was pure shock, disbelief, or the fact that I couldn't possibly imagine Russell Westbrook getting traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, despite making videos about this topic, but the Russell Westbrook trade just does not feel real. We are talking about Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James teaming up in the year 2021. Look, I'm not going to say that I feel like I'm in some type of alternate reality on some Rick and Morty type stuff, but literally that's what it feels like right now. The NBA is changing, and that change is happening right before our very eyes. I think as time progresses, we are going to see more and more player movement. You're going to see more players opting to control their own destiny. And while I know this was a trade, my feelings about the NBA and this dynamic change that's happening right before our very eyes are still the same. While I love players controlling their own destiny, I love the change and approach that some GMs are now taking also. It doesn't take 5 years of the same core to figure out that something is not going to work. Feel free to argue with me if you want, but this past season, I really feel that the Lakers were a good team. They were a team that had injury problems, but ultimately, I liked the idea of the team. While the team didn't mesh on the highest of levels, they had potential and they had talent. The Lakers didn't have to make any big move this offseason. They could have simply just ran things back and instantly became title contenders yet again. But of course, the Lakers did not play it safe. They decided to go all in. The beauty about the Russell Westbrook trade is that this trade is either going to be amazing, or Lakers fans might hate me for this and feel free to disagree, it's going to go terrible. That's not me saying the trade will go terrible, that's me just playing both sides. Obviously, there is very high upside, but with upside comes downside. Guys, before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another Get Like Coop video, and that's facts. If you guys enjoy my content, then the chances are you'll enjoy the Laced Up podcast. Me, the Flight Mike Korzemba, we bring you guys one of the best basketball podcasts on the planet. The link to Laced Up is going to be down in the description below. I think there are a lot of people overthinking the Russell Westbrook move for the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, Russell Westbrook is 32 years old. While he's not in his absolute prime, I'd still argue that at 32 years old, Westbrook is still in his late prime. How else would he still be doing things like this?
Taken away, Westbrook for the big dunk.
Or things like this.
Up ahead, here's Westbrook, throws down the big jam.
He wanted that one.
Hey man, I tried to tell you guys. In no universe is getting the guy that made triple doubles boring because he became so good at achieving them a bad thing. Russell Westbrook averaged 22.2 points per game, 11.5 rebounds per game, and 11.7 assists per game last season. He did this all while shooting 44% from the field. While there are concerns about Westbrook's shot selection, if he's shooting 44% from the field with terrible shot selection and a bad three-point percentage, then just imagine what he could do playing alongside other dynamic players like Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Anthony Davis will effectively become by far the best big man Russell Westbrook has ever played with in his entire career. Defensively, Westbrook is a big guard. This guy is 6'3", 200 plus pounds. He was a very instrumental part of the Houston Rockets switching everything. I love the Houston Rockets. They're one of my teams. I watched a ton of Russell Westbrook and James Harden. When I tell you guys that he was instrumental to what the Rockets wanted to do, instrumental isn't telling the full story. With James Harden and Russell Westbrook, the Rockets would run a scheme that would allow the Rockets to switch virtually every pick and roll. I saw games where the Rockets would flat out come out and put Russell Westbrook on centers, and Westbrook would hold his own. Now, of course, on the other side of things, they would occasionally put centers on Westbrook too and dare him to shoot, which brings us to the spacing conversation. Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James have potential to wreak havoc on the NBA. But that's the thing. Potential is potential. I talked about this a bit in my last video, but it's no secret that LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis are best when the floor is spaced. It simply gives these big-time playmakers more room to operate. But you see, that's the thing. What is the floor going to look like when Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James are all on the court at the same time? In 2019 to 2020, LeBron James shot catch-and-shoot threes at 39%. In 2020 to 2021, this past season, his percentage fell to 35%. This past season, Anthony Davis shot catch-and-shoot threes at 29%. I brought this stat up in yesterday's video, but I didn't have the actual number in front of me. Russell Westbrook actually shot catch-and-shoot threes this past season at a higher percentage than LeBron James. While nobody's percentage this past season was great, I think there's potential for greatness because Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis are going to generate a ton of open shots. I think Anthony Davis and LeBron's poor three-point percentage were due to the fact that the Lakers got into forced shot and late shot clock situations due to a lack of shot creators. This past season, Russell Westbrook led all of basketball in assists. So while there will be some teams that dare the Los Angeles Lakers to shoot, as long as AD, Bron, and Westbrook are knocking down their shots, the Lakers will have no problems. I know Westbrook is a wild card when it comes to shooting, but also, so is Anthony Davis. His poor shooting this past season can't be ignored. One of the reasons that Anthony Davis was so dangerous in the bubble was because you couldn't guard him. Inside the arc, beyond the arc, fadeaway jump shot, Anthony Davis was the complete package. He went on an absolute tear shooting the basketball. It was like he couldn't miss. That being said, AD, this season the Lakers are going to need you to remain aggressive and continue punishing smaller defenders. Yeah, you're going to be asked to space the floor and play the 5, but don't settle. Reportedly 2 weeks ago, Westbrook, Bron, and AD met up at Bron's house to discuss the possibility of playing together. They talked about putting their egos aside and playing as one in their quest to bring the Lakers an NBA championship. James and Davis talked about changing positions if that was what was best for the team. James moving from small forward to power forward, and Davis moving from power forward to center. Davis playing 5 has kind of been the elephant in the room for the Los Angeles Lakers because everybody knows they're better with AD at the 5. Do you guys think that the Lakers will have shooting problems? Do you think that Russell Westbrook and LeBron James alongside Anthony Davis can coexist? If this goes bad, guys, in the comments, how bad can things really get? Reportedly, there was a strong level of disagreement within the Los Angeles Lakers organization about whether or not Russell Westbrook was ultimately the person they needed to pursue with the picks and the players that they got rid of. Okay, be real with me, guys. Lakers fans, NBA fans, Westbrook fans, how do we feel about this move for everybody involved? Me, I really want to see Westbrook win a championship. I feel like people have been throwing dirt on his name for far too long. Also, don't get mad at me. I'm just reacting to this and I want to know your reaction too. I saw this report that the Lakers officials may be worried about LeBron James and Anthony Davis title window being shorter than they originally anticipated. Now, what are your thoughts about this? Because LeBron James already delivered a title to the Los Angeles Lakers. Is it fair to say a title window is shorter than imagined when he already delivered? Also, do you guys think LeBron James is on that steep of a decline? Let's remember that Bron kind of has no plans to retire soon. Quote, "I truly hope that I can finish my career with the Lakers, however many years that is. If it's 4, 5, 6, whatever, 7, I hope I can continue to play the game." I don't think Bron's hitting a sharp decline anytime soon, but if he does gradually decline, do you still continue to pay him the big bag to be in LA that you're paying him right now? The Lakers' talent over depth approach with Westbrook is very interesting considering they've already added 2 very nice prospects in Joel Ayayi, who is just a versatile scorer that has defensive upside. The guy can shoot the basketball, and they have also added Austin Reeves. These are two very good undrafted free agents that I like. That being said, these guys have a long way to go, and I'm interested to see what the Lakers do to fill out their roster. They have to get shooters, guys that know their role, can knock down shots, and also defend. Lakers fans, let me know how you feel about Carmelo Anthony or Rudy Gay. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Gil Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.